What's going on, guys? JSGC here, and we are here for another Manchester City video today. We're going to be doing a Manchester City transfer update. Before I do crack on with this video though, make sure, like always, if you are enjoying the content, then please do subscribe. We're going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer transfer window, so I'll keep you guys up to date, first and fast, every single day with all the latest Manchester City transfer news throughout the summer transfer window. So if you're new around here, do subscribe. Also, don't forget as well, social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen. If you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram, my email also in the description too. If you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries, TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. Leave a thumbs up, 300 likes is the aim, and most importantly, do let me know your thoughts in the comments below, as I'm always interested in what you do have to say with regards to these transfers. So without further ado, let's crack on with this video. And as always, we're going to start off with the outs. We've got a couple of bits of out news. We're going to start off first with the latest on Kian Breckin. Now, scouts have been watching him for Manchester City's academy this season, and clubs that have been linked are Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, Tottenham Hotspur and Southampton, who have all had scouts out watching Kian Breckin of Manchester City's academy. Man City's stance has been very clear on this though. No sale will be sanctioned unless a sizable bid does come in this summer for Kian Breckin. Very interesting. This has been reported by the Sun, and I will keep my eyes and ears open there with the latest on Kian Breckin, but a top prospect, hoping Man City will be able to keep hold of him and keep him out the grasp of other English clubs, but we'll see. Now, the Standard, they're reporting that West Ham are ready in a move for Kalvin Phillips this summer. They do report that Manchester City aren't that keen on selling Kalvin Phillips this summer, and they want to give him more time to settle in and adapt to Manchester City. City normally like to give a player at least 2 seasons. Kalvin Phillips is getting near the end of his first season. I'd be very surprised if we did sell Kalvin Phillips. City normally do give their players a couple of seasons, see how they get on. If it's working, they'll keep them. If not, then Manchester City may look elsewhere and have a look for interest with that. Now, West Ham are getting linked, mainly because other clubs are getting linked with Declan Rice, so they're potentially looking at Kalvin Phillips as being a potential suitor for him. Now, West Ham do have concerns over Kalvin Phillips' injury record. We have concerns over Kalvin Phillips' injuries as well. That's why I'd give him a second season. If he can showcase that he has got the fitness about him and he's prepared and ready to go and he's fully over all of his injuries, then next season could be the season that Kalvin Phillips really develops himself and he's able to push on with his Manchester City career. Man City don't spend £44 million on players that aren't very good. Kalvin Phillips is a very good player. He's just been kept out of the team by an excellent Rodri in defensive midfield, and also because he's been injured, that it's not allowed him the opportunity there to be able to break in and get the minutes that he will be looking for. But seasons are long, anything can happen. If it was up to me, I feel like if we're selling Kalvin Phillips and we'd need to replace him, it's selling somebody for the sake of selling somebody, and you'd be signing somebody to bring somebody in who's going to be in the exact same position as what Kalvin Phillips is right now, because there are no better players in that holding midfield role than Rodri in the world, in my opinion. So if you're competing for that spot, it is very difficult to be able to get your momentum and get them starts. To me, I'd give Kalvin Phillips another season, but if the right offer comes in, who knows? I imagine if City are looking to sell, they'd probably want their money back and be looking at around £40 to £45 million. Will West Ham pay that for someone who's got concerns over their injury with? We'll see. Now, moving on to the ends, we've got the very latest on Ben Chilwell, and if you're a fan of Ben Chilwell joining Manchester City, you're not going to like what I'm going to say. Now, David Ornstein has reported, and Fabrizio Romano has also reported this as well, Ben Chilwell is going to sign a new contract at Chelsea. It's going to end all speculation on his future. City were being linked a few weeks back. It's going to be an extension until 2027. And in terms of fullbacks right now, very quiet out there. So I don't think that's something Man City right now are focusing on. Maybe as the summer goes on, they may have a look at fullbacks potentially. I imagine a lot depends on what happens with João Cancelo and his future being very uncertain. If City do want to look at a fullback, I imagine they'd need to sell João Cancelo first. Is that going to happen? I don't know, but one thing I will say, Bayern Munich very reluctant to pay the money that's needed to sign João Cancelo. I've heard rumours that they may be willing to negotiate that price down. I'm not sure if City are keen on doing that, and if City don't want to sell to Premier League rivals, who out there is going to want to spend money on João Cancelo, so I presume that's why we're not being linked with many fullbacks right now. And now moving on to another player, a new name, comes in the form of Jordan Bos. Now, Aussie Scout on Twitter says that Manchester City are having a look at left-back Jordan Bos of Melbourne City. Melbourne City, of course, part of the City football group. He's a 20-year-old left-back, and he's having an outstanding season over in Australia. Now, Aussie Scout says that the player's agent is currently in Manchester, speaking with Manchester City, and he's looking to try and secure the deal to get it done. City in negotiations to try and make this transfer happen. At 20 years old and not had much experience in Europe, if City were to sign him, I can't imagine the fee being that high, and I can't imagine him being used around the City first team squad, but we'll have to wait and see. What I can see Manchester City doing here is signing Bos and then loaning him out to somebody else, potentially in the CFG, to get that experience. Give him a season or two of European football, see how he adapts, and see if he is good enough for Manchester City, because we've brought in other top quality players, Daniel Arzani from Australia, Aaron Moy from Australia, two very good players who weren't of the standard that City were looking for. And it's very difficult to say that somebody's coming from Australia to come over to Manchester City, that they're going to be hitting that standard without having that European football experience. City could use him around the first team squad, and if he is good enough, he is good enough. However, without having that proven under his belt, and no disrespect to the quality of football down under in Australia, but I imagine City will be looking for top competitive football action to fully see what this player is capable of. No fee has been mentioned, but very interesting nonetheless. As I said, it has been pretty quiet on the fullbacks. One quality young player we're having a look at. When it comes to proven players, though, all seem very quiet. Now, moving on to the final story. Shall we speak about Jude Bellingham? Go on then. So the Times have been reporting Liverpool, done and dusted. They're out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham. They're not going to be signing him. They're looking at other alternatives. They have 2 or 3 positions in midfield that Liverpool are looking at, and they regard Jude Bellingham as too expensive to be spending on one player this summer. So with Liverpool out of the race, it means we're left with Real Madrid and Manchester City having a look at Jude Bellingham of Borussia Dortmund. I still wouldn't rule out Jude Bellingham signing a new contract at Borussia Dortmund, but rumours and murmurs have been coming in from Germany and from Dortmund themselves saying they're fully expecting to lose Jude Bellingham this summer. The price has been set, 150 million euros. If City want to sign Jude Bellingham, we're looking at around 130 million pounds. So it's going to be very, very expensive. To me, if he's the top target and we can get Gundogan on a new contract and Bernardo Silva comes or goes, to me, if there is a possibility of getting this transfer done and dusted as quickly as possible, then in my opinion, City need to make it happen. We do already have the spends there to make this happen without having to worry too much about net spend, but Manchester City like to manage their business well, and if Jude Bellingham arrives for a big price of 150 million euros, it does mean that players are going to leave. Players like João Cancelo we're going to have to get money for. Bernardo Silva, unsettled, if he leaves, we're going to have to get money for. And at the end of the day, Ilkay Gundogan, if he leaves City, will be for free. So the only thing we're saving on is wage structure, whereas City will be looking for some money for this deal. So if City choose to spend this amount of money on Jude Bellingham, I wouldn't be surprised. I've been speaking previously saying City could be looking at 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5, depending on players leaving. If maybe 2 or 3 players leave, I can see City maybe bringing in a couple of players as well as Jude Bellingham. It's a lot of money to be spending. Man City do have the finances to make it happen. It's just not over the last couple of seasons how City have been managing their business. But to me, if there's any possibility of adding quality to our team, Jude Bellingham is a player that excites me. He's a player that, give him a season or 2 under Pep Guardiola, and the world is his absolute oyster. He is a fantastic player. We know Jack Grealish, John Stones. They're speaking with Jude Bellingham. He's good friends with Erling Haaland as well. We have the finances to make this transfer happen. I imagine we'll probably get further developments on this over the next 6 weeks or so until the end of the footballing season here in Europe. So definitely want to keep an eye out for. But big breaking news over the last 48 hours. Liverpool officially out of the race to sign Jude Bellingham. 2-horse race. Real Madrid, Manchester City. Very latest from Real Madrid's end, the Telegraph have said Real Madrid prepared to pay €115 million to make Jude Bellingham their player as a guaranteed fee. They are prepared, with add-ons included, to go up to as high as their asking price for Borussia Dortmund of €150 million. So right now, Real Madrid not only are Champions League competitors, but also our competitor for Jude Bellingham as well. One team out of the race, still got another team to beat. Biggest of them all with Real Madrid. City, act quick, go make it happen. I wouldn't rule anything out. So there we go, that has been the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy this video, leave a thumbs up. 300 likes is the aim, so any help towards that would be much appreciated. Do let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Would you like to see Man City sign Jude Bellingham? And if so, do you think €150 million fairly represents his value? Would you pay it? Would you negotiate it down? Or would you have a look at other alternatives instead? If so, which players would you like to see City go for instead? Let me know in the comments below. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Remember, we're going to be doing daily Manchester City transfer updates throughout all of the summer transfer window from June. So I'll keep you up to date on YouTube first and fast every single day with daily Manchester City transfer updates. So subscribe if you haven't already. Social media links, they're in the description below and sliding across at the bottom of the screen if you want to go and follow me on my Twitter and Instagram. Email also in the description too if you want to hit me up for any sponsorships for any videos or any general business inquiries. Remember, TikTok link also in the description if you want to go and follow me on there. And I'll see you all again real soon for the next Manchester City video, where we'll be back again tomorrow for the preview of the big Premier League game this weekend. Another biggie. Home match against Leicester City, and a chance for us to get more pressure onto Arsenal. We'll speak more about that in tomorrow's video. So I've been JSGC. Thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone is safe and well. Peace. Ciao for now.